guys, this is Jake with Futrell Marine. I'm here today at Hot Springs. We're going to go over our brand new X23. This is a fresh in 2017 MasterCraft X23. X23 is one of the hottest sellers in our X series. You can kind of get the best of all worlds with this boat. It's 23 foot, which is plenty big enough for the full family. It seats 16. It's got a really deep freeboard here, which is it gives a really good smooth ride. Cuts through the chop really well. You'll notice on this model we brought in a whole lot of really sparkly, shiny metal flake here. It looks a whole lot better on the water than it does here on the showroom, but you can kind of get a glimpse of it there. But this boat is sharp, it's sporty, and it throws off a really, really good surf wake. You can tell, like I said earlier, about the deep freeboard. It allows for a lot of ballast capability here, which I'll show you whenever we hop inside the boat. As we walk around here, we chose to go with the fiberglass platform with this boat. It comes in teak and fiberglass. Personal preference back there. You've got the engine flush kit, which is new for the new Gen 5 motors, closed-cooled motors. In case you take it to brackish or saltwater, you can flush it out there. Built-in reclining seating. Now that's a big selling point for the X23 and the 26. Those are the only two models currently that comes on. You can sit back here. You've got handles here. If you're out surfing or just chilling in the cove, you got handles so nobody's going anywhere. This backrest flips up here, locks into place for a comfortable ride. And this is a really big selling point on this model in particular. You see a lot of boats, a lot of towboats have flip-up seating in the back, but this, you gotta get in this seat to believe what I'm telling you, but it's super comfortable. You got the transom remote built in back here so you can control your Fusion head unit. The boat is zoned 3 different ways, so you can control the cockpit speakers, the bow speakers, and the tower speakers all on their own zones. For instance, if you've got somebody back here riding, surfing, riding, you know, wakeboard, whatever, and you want them to hear the music, you turn your tower up on its own zone without having to blast everybody out in the cockpit and the bow. Everything, if you'll notice throughout the boat, is airplane grade billet aluminum. That goes from our dash over here to the glove box to the tower. It's not going to pit, rust, corrode. You're going to notice a brand new looking tower. That's a big point there. They've also got the swivel board racks. Stops at the back position. Stops at the inside position for laying the tower down and storage. And then we also have the clamping board racks. So clamp down there and then pull up really easy. For this is standard in MasterCraft, all of the X series. All the 2017 ZFT4 towers will have these side toe points for surfing. That's to help kind of, if you've got a new surfer or someone that doesn't know how to wake surf as well, you can start them over there. That way you don't have to pull them to one side. This bimini just pulls right out really easy. Take the boot off, remove the boot. It's got 4 different zips here, pretty easy to do. So once we get this boot off, just step up here and pull this out. Just snap that into place. Now there's a little strap right here that you can strap down right there, Velcro, just to make sure that it doesn't bounce around on your side. That's it. Nope. And then just to release it, you'll just pull up on that, and just it goes right back. Now, this new ZFT4 tower, you just pull the clips out right here if you want to lay down for storage. One thing, just lay it down like that, and then lock into place. That easy. So, a lot of the other MasterCrafts, the older models, I know a lot of you have had older models and the tower's just a pain to deal with. This is a much simpler way to store or lower your tower. One thing with the X series now, you can add color to the stitching. So we've got the red stitching that really pops off these cushions. Lift this cushion up. This is called the coffin storage. It's deep, it's long. We got a dual battery system here on a Perco switch, which allows you to isolate your batteries or combine them to keep you from getting stranded on the water if you listen to a lot of music. Talk about the storage on the port side of our X series is continuous all the way throughout. It's got over here on the port side storage, it runs continuous on every X series, all the way from the back of the boat where the ballast goes all the way through. It's not a tray system like many of the other towboats. It's a continuous storage system with tons of room. Your amps are up out of the way for your JL audio system, and you got plenty of room for boards, skis, stuff like that. Most boats you can't store full wakeboards and skis in, but this one you can. Move the Perco switch up. Now no more going to the back, having somebody move. Can isolate your batteries here, can combine them here. Your fuses are all right here, so it's a whole lot more convenient than having to move things out of the way. All right, let's take a look at this dash here. Like I said earlier, it's got a whole lot of built aluminum there, not a whole lot of plastic, vinyl covered, real high end, nice materials there. They've added the tweeters to the dash. You'll go through and you'll see your heater, if you've got that option, which is available, nav lights, interior lighting, storage and courtesy. You've got forward bilge, aft bilge, and your blower. Now, over here you'll see the screen, which when turned on, a lot of it is redundant. You'll have some manual switches and gauges up here, and then you've also got the touch screen, which controls a lot of the same stuff and some of the other stuff. The reason that MasterCraft does that is if your screen, for some reason, it is electronics, if it goes out on the water, you're not stuck on the water. You still have your main switches and gauges to enjoy the rest of your day and go back and fix that at a later date. You do have a Fusion head unit control over here for the driver to be able to control everything. That's Bluetooth capable again. You got a 12-volt plug-in there, and this is your engine start and stop. Now, one thing I want to point out about this start and stop button, now, to turn your key on, that runs all your accessory switches here and your screen and all that, your electronics. But if you stop in a cove and you want to, you still want to run your electronics, you don't want the system to forget your settings for your surfing or your wakeboarding or your audio, you can push that button and hold it down, and it doesn't reset your whole electronic system. You have an audio button on this screen which lets you control your zones that we talked about earlier. The audio button will also let you change inputs. It will let you control the whole function of the audio system right there on the screen. It's just okay, so I've lit up our screen here. I want to show you a few of the options that you can do with the screen. We're on the audio button, which is the first one. You can power it up by your power button up here in the left corner. You've got your presets that you can set, 5 different ones there. You can scan, and then you can control your zones over here, which will light up with your 3 zones whenever the radio's on. You can go bow, cockpit, or tower. Next we go to our ballast screen. You can drag and drop. This controls your surf tabs. These control port, center, and starboard ballast. You can drag and drop there as well. You do have redundant switches down here, manual switches. If you look down here, port, forward, starboard, fill, and empty. If you're not a big drag and drop fan, you do have the manual down there as well as the manual tabs. Next, you've got your gauges, which are a little bit redundant with what you got up there, lit up in the middle, but it's going to have miles per hour, air temp, water temp, hours on the boat, and volts. And it also has a depth meter at the center there. You can turn your cruise on and off from here as well. It's kind of your home screen. There is a button for video. That's for if you want to add a video on the tower later. You don't have to redo everything. It's already set in here. You just plug it in the glove box. This is a menu screen. Just allows you to do user settings, things like whenever you slow down your speed, if you want to drop the volume as the boat slows down. You got engine diagnostics. If you're out on the water stranded, we're going to ask you what code it's throwing. Factory settings, which we're able to change. You can change your GPS status if you bounce around different lakes, fuel settings, different things like that in your menu screen there. GPS, like I said, we don't have a lot of people bring that in, but if you bounce around different lakes or you're new to your lake, that's an option that we can add to this screen. Profile is really neat. You can set up your surf left, surf right. These are just generic profiles that the factory has set in. If you're just wanting to surf the best wake available, but you can also tailor this and save it in add new here under your name or whoever's riding, and you can always go back and pick that. You can save as many as you want, and that's a real neat feature that a lot of people like. And then finally, you've got your cruise screen. You can turn on and off right here, and this shows your set speed that you're going to be driving. This shows your current speed that you are actually going. All you do for cruise is get the throttle past the actual point that you want it set at, and then the boat takes over. When you pull back, you're back in control. It's that simple. Auto launch is also a new feature, fairly new feature for some of the newer boats. Basically, in a nutshell, what auto launch is going to do is it's going to put your surf tab and your center tab down at certain percentages, and when the boat takes off, it's going to help drop your bow rise and you get on plane a lot quicker. and then it'll automatically pick your tabs up once you get on plane and smooth out. That's new to 2017 is the new Dockstar. You may have heard of it. Show what that is that's a reverse drive system to where you can turn clockwise and counterclockwise both ways in reverse, which beforehand you could only turn one way. It's simple. It's just two rudders in front of the prop instead of one behind. What that does is that makes it a lot simpler for someone who's never driven an inboard to maneuver around tight spaces, docks, and trailering. I think I mentioned this boat does have Gen 2 surf system on it. What's good about Gen 2 is it's tailored to the specific hull model. So this X23, its port and starboard surf tabs will be different. It's not one size fits all. So you're getting the best wake on both sides when you switch sides with the new Gen 2 system. Okay, guys, this X23 is powered by a new Gen 5 Elmore. These just came new to 2017. They replaced the 6.2 and the 6.0. This is a 6,000 Elmore GDI gasoline direct inject. Essentially, what you can get out of these new Gen 5s is more power with smaller displacement. This is still a 6.2 430 horse engine, but it's geared really low. It's a lot more efficient than the Gen 4 motors. Still eco-friendly, still surfer-friendly if you're right behind the boat surfing. Still safe on emissions. So you can pull a house at 30 on this thing the way that it's geared. It's geared for playing and towing. Okay, one of the big things that helps MasterCraft X Series and NXT Series alike stand out from the competition is they offer a full 5-year warranty. It's full 5 years. That's Elmore's in-house. You don't have to go out of house with anything. The trailers are made at MasterCraft. Everything's covered. The only thing that doesn't get covered the complete 5 years is trailer paint and gel coat. Everything else, the electronic components, the engine, everything that goes with this boat is a full 5-year warranty, the best in the industry. My name is Jake. Call me anytime. My cell number is 479-252-0940. You can get me at the store.